When we got back from seeing Transformers, it was we went to go see Transformers 2. And when we got back, when I got back home, and I played Gone Too Soon by Michael, which is one of my favorite records by Michael. And I just felt
Roll me, Mac.
How old were you when you started to enjoy sex? I'm going to go with 21. 21 was around the time where I started to enjoy sex. And because before that, I believe in a man's life, I'll speak on, you're really just trying to figure it out. You're trying not to come fast, you're trying not to be boring, you're trying to figure out exactly what it is that you're doing. In general, you just know that you want to say you've done it. You know, those are the validational times where you're having sex and say that you have sex, right? Not really on the course of like you want to have sex with this person because you want to make love to them or you want to love them or anything regarding love. It had nothing to do with that. That's not how it was introduced to me. So initially, it was just trying to fit in. For me, early on, sex was about fitting in. Even how my kid got here, it was more about fitting in and just trying to be with the in crowd, the it crowd, and all that stuff. Just trying to fit in, trying to be validated by doing things that you heard other people do at school. You heard they were doing that. But truth be told, I was scared out of my mind all the time when it came to sex, leading up till. Yeah, I say leading up to about 21, and then when I found out that I could make babies, my kid is born, scared the shit out of me. So as far as like going raw on a woman, not a chance. That's what my mentality was. I was like, I want to do that again. As far as like without us going through the proper channels of preparing to have a kid type thing. These are my late teens, early 20 thoughts, but I'd say about 21. Now 21 was very pivotal for me because I was going through a on again, off again type relationship with the girl I was seeing while I was in the Air Force. And I kept waiting. I was waiting for her to be ready so that we could be together. Typical beta male blue pill shit, my type of behavior. it stopped me from doing what I was doing, you know, in the process. But my mind was like, this is who I'm going to be with forever. We're gonna figure this thing out, and life is just gonna be, it's gonna be grand, you know, fairy tale talk, you know, delusional talk, and living in my illusions. And in the process of that, I was bitter, you know, I felt entitled, I had expectations, and I definitely had ego. But I was very bitter towards allowing a woman to get close to me. I'm talking about icebox where my heart used to be like a fucking force field. You were not getting close to me outside of the bedroom. That is where my mind was. But it brought about a lot of encounters that I had with little girls around my age, and hell, even some older. But by that time, because my mind was so off of like giving a fuck about whether she was satisfied or not, out of bitterness, I learned to have confidence in the rhythm of fucking, you know. That's one way to put it, right? But I learned a rhythm. I figured out what exactly that I was doing. Now, mind you, I haven't even reached watching porn yet. So, you know, it's not influenced by that, you know, but I was just learning how to, I was learning how to gauge a woman's body and what she responded to with a lot of things. Being able to, one, you know, again, early on, you're questioning your own size and stuff like that. You don't know if it's good. You don't know if she came. You don't ask you don't ask a woman if she came. You know, that's just like a rule. I don't know where I got the rule from, but that was just a rule I kept. And you just let her tell you or what have you, or keep working until you get some kind of reaction. And the way I saw it, well, if my dick game is horrible, at least I can get away with like eating pussy. It's a graphic topic, this one. But by that time, I had learned to do both, right? I learned to do both. So what ends up happening is I start to feel myself a little bit. I'm 21 years old. I'm a grown man now and all this other shit. It's 2006. The snap music is going off in Atlanta. You know, like we're going out to the club and we're meeting various women, you know, from various areas. And it became a thing. It became a thing, you know, for us. That was what the mood was. We're not looking for love, we're looking for lust. And we found it. We did. And it was me and my boys from the Air Force. You know, we would go to Nighttown in Fort Walton Beach, you know, we were stationed at Hurlburt. And every other weekend we would find a different, you know, we would meet different women, you know, and some women, they were kind to you. You started doing the clingy shit. When they start feeling you doing that clingy shit, following them around the club thing, yeah, she ain't gonna talk to you no more. That's kind of what was occurring. But for the ones that actually wanted to mingle, who thought you were attractive, you know, they saw the waves, they saw the smile, right? And then, yeah, we engaged in conversation. I could hold conversation enough that you didn't want to not do anything with me, but I had no social skills. I'm looking at myself right now in my mind, and I had no social skills whatsoever when it came to engaging with girls. Somehow or another, I guess it didn't matter to them. They were just as clueless as we were, or as I was, rather. But I look at those times and I see just a kid going through it. He was just in survival mode, trying to survive, didn't really understand love, didn't really love himself. So let's just lean on ego, and let's let ego get us into shit. And I know there's a lot of people who know what I'm talking about when your ego gets you into things that you have no business being involved in. But around that time, around 21 was when I really started to be like, oh, okay, so I am okay at this. And then with the one shorty that I was dealing with for a little bit through that time, we certainly developed chemistry, right? We developed chemistry, and after a while, we had to go our separate ways because of orders. But there was plenty of on-the-job training for us whenever time permitted. Let's just say that. And it's just so interesting seeing, looking back at that time, and thinking that you had everything figured out, thinking that you knew all about sex, thinking that you knew all about love, and you don't really know anything at 21. You don't really know anything at 21. But your ego will have you believing that you do. But there was a lot of, just going to work, waiting for Friday, waiting for Saturday. We're going out to Nighttown. We're going out to the swamp. We're going out to Fuddruckers on Thursdays. And we saw, we meet people, we talk to them. We would hope that we would get dates and things like that. A lot of times it was girls that were talking to, a lot of guys, you know what I mean? Hypergamy is very high right now for girls that are in the age bracket of 20 to 25. So they had their pick of the litter, and you just had to hope that you were the one that she wanted and crazy enough to sleep with. And that's kind of like how it went. So at that point, we're pretty much just swapping each other from time to time. The girls that we kind of mingle with around in the city, they're like high school. It's just a bigger high school. But young, the joys of being young, right? And trying to be active, trying to think that you're hot, you're the hot guy, and thinking that you're cool and whatever that all of us thought we were. Thought we was fly little kids, fly young people in the military. Some of us were, but we thought we were more important than we really were. I'll just say that. And there was, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just some great nights. There were some great nights out in the town, and there were some nights that we wish we could forget. Let's just say that. But around 21 was like, all right, I'm no longer second guessing myself when it comes to being with a woman. Now it's like, all right, now the confidence is being built up. Now let's go talk to whoever. I don't care how, age appropriate that is. I mean, as far as how old, the older, the better. That was just an ego thing to be like, you know what? She's 35. Okay. And it is what it is. So that was that type of thing, and like, why is this older woman messing with this younger man? But I didn't care. I was going for broke at that point in time because I was running off of pain. Yeah, I was running off of pain. So there was plenty of things my ego got me into that wasn't necessarily the best for me, but I mean, what's done is done. And I'm still alive here to tell the story. But yeah, I just knew, I just grew a confidence. I grew a confidence. It's just like knowing that stuff. But after a while, you learn that confidence, okay, of having sex. And now, what do you do next with that cap? Do you learn how to love? And letting people get, as far as letting a woman get close to you. And that's just when I would start to engage with, I say more so when I got to Miami, the women that I met there, and then they would want to take it, further, because I was still running off another episode of pain from trying to be in a relationship that didn't go the way I wanted it to, and I threw an inner tantrum, I threw an inside tantrum, and so I was just frustrated with the world. So here we go. All right, let's do what we know best. Let's get back to meaningless sex, right? And now there's this girl, I mean, periodically while I was down there, but there was this girl that, I mean, she had her fair share of mental health issues too, for sure, but we triggered each other so much. There was so much screaming in that apartment. I'll never forget the day her crazy ass threw her phone trying to get my attention, attention-seeking behavior. She was in the bedroom. She was in my bedroom, so we had a spat or whatever. She's in the bedroom, and she just launches her fucking phone inside the living room where I am. And I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Because I have tile floor. You know, it was tile floor. I'm like, your phone is gonna be fucked. But she had a fair share of issues for sure, and understandably why. You know, had a very rocky relationship with her dad. Though I'm able to look at it now. You know, then I was 24, 5, something like that. 2010, 25. Yeah. I was turning 25 that year. But there was so much stuff that came along with what the strategy that I was on at the time, you know. And don't get me wrong, we enjoyed it. We definitely enjoyed the things that we got into, of course, you know, from a extracurricular activity standpoint. But I was projecting pain. Yeah, I was projecting pain. And not purposely, but I was projecting pain onto her. And I was building a wall so that she couldn't get close to me. Purposely. Now, well, indirectly, I was purposely building a wall, but I was indirectly doing it because I didn't understand why I was doing that. And, you know, abandonment issues and stuff like that. So I'm going to leave you before you have the chance to break my heart type thing. So it's like, all right, I'm going to push you back. That's where I saw myself. That's why I'm, you know, looking back now, I'm able to see myself in that. But yeah, lots of stories spanning from the whole concept of like enjoying, you know, when did you start to enjoy sex? That's what, like before 21, it was just trying to be validated. You know, you didn't really understand like how sex worked, any rhythm, or even if you cared if if the woman even got hers type thing. You know, it was more like, all right, am I worthy enough of this shit? You know, am I gonna come too fast? Am I going to I'm gonna mess things, you know, am I gonna be boring? Am I gonna mess this up type thing? But right around the time I got back from the desert, it was on the popping, that's for sure. And I don't say that bragging, it's just understanding that's what my mindset was. It was like, I'm in pain, so let me go out here and just get involved in a bunch of situations that may cost me in the future. And so whatever, you know, rebel mindset, rebel life, hella rebel even at 21, right? But just being in pain. I can say it now, I was definitely certainly in a lot of pain, and I wasn't about to let anybody get close to me. Outside of the intimacy part, the physical intimacy part. But I'd have to say that I didn't start to enjoy sex until I got back from the desert at 21. Often do you, as a man, cry in your adult years? It catches me off guard. There's like, I know I cried the night Michael Jackson died. That I can say. I was very attached to my entertainer. That is, it didn't get any closer than Michael Jackson for me. So when we got back from seeing Transformers, it was we went to go see Transformers 2. And when we got back, when I got back home, and I played Gone Too Soon by Michael, which is one of my favorite records by Michael. And I just felt it. I felt it. It's like, man, he's really gone. Like, this is a part of your childhood. And he's the first entertainer I've ever known. There was Michael Jackson, there was Michael Jordan, and Scottie Pippen for me. But that's who I knew. I imitated him just like every other little kid did in elementary school, and at cookouts, with the family. But I had legitimate tears. There was definitely a few moments in my adult years where I've had to cry. It's just taking on entirely too much. Feeling like you had to. Being a punching bag to people that you try to love, but all they do is see you as a punching bag to project their pain onto. And you think by just being there for them, they're going to be appreciative at some point in time, and that's not how it works. Yeah, I just taught them that I didn't have any boundaries, and they took advantage of me. They took advantage of what I was giving away. So one time it just got too much for me, and I had a moment. I had a moment in front of family. It was my uncle had just passed. My Uncle Kevin had just passed. And we were at my grandma's 75th celebration. And it just hit me. In front of everybody. Didn't care who it was. I was just in a tough spot. I was in a dark space, at that point in time in my life. And it's just like I just keep trying to be nice to everybody. And I'm just letting them walk over me. And it didn't matter how nice I was, they just kept doing it. And I just couldn't believe it was happening, because I firmly believe in my blue pill mind that if I am nice to people, that they'll be nice to me. And then I'll be lovable. And that wasn't the case, man. They just saw me as weak. And it ignited a fire like none other. I was determined to establish healthy boundaries. I went as far as buying a book called Codependency No More, which is a great read I recommend for a lot of people that probably been in the same scenario. But I read Codependency No More, and it kept showing me. But I had to have a moment. I stepped outside and, I'm wiping away tears, and I'm just like, they just don't know. They have no idea of what I had taken on, I had endured, and I vowed that this was not going to happen again. And it helped me to become a lot stronger mentally. I started to pick up on stoicism and not taking things personal. And I got more courage. And then I started to earn respect of my peers by setting boundaries. It was uncomfortable at first. I would, have nerves and stuff because I'd never done that before. I just took things as they were. I just let people talk to me any kind of way. And then I started to develop, boundaries with people. But, funerals, of course, for people that people that have ascended in recent years, for sure. That's certainly shed tears for that, because of allowing myself to feel that emotion and not try to be numb about it. It's not a common thing where you'll catch me just randomly just crying. I will say though, that movie with Mark Wahlberg called Instant Family, you feel it. That's for sure. I definitely was like, man, that's cool. Just a family, a healthy family, people that want to show up for you, and it felt great to see that. I was like, wow, that's what that looks like when you got people that just want to show up for you. It looked nice. It looked nice to do that and to try to be, learning how to be kind but not be nice is what came of that. I realized that I was a nice guy, but I had to learn him to be a kind one. And when I learned the difference, I was able to teach, my peers, when I saw them doing the very same thing that got them put in a position of where they were being taken advantage of, man. But I remember shedding a tear when Takeoff was killed because of how things are in essentially the black community. For me, the ignorant shit that takes away members, like people's family, somebody's father, somebody's son, somebody's uncle, whatever, over what is like, and it's like, it's implanted into our community. Make no mistake that everything that we are doing has been set up by design. And a lot of us keep going for what the matrix of it all has designed for us to do. But when you allow yourself to think, when you pause, before responding, and you think, should I take this personal? Things change for you. You don't have to respond out of ignorance anymore. Now you can respond from a logical standpoint. I'm not telling you not to fight. I'm telling you to know why you're fighting, and is it worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? And, I'm all for people standing up for themselves, but being shot over dice games and, shit like that, or somebody stepping on your Jordans, to me, that's a person gone for that. I remember hearing a story, it was like 2018, where a kid, his mom worked 2 jobs to get him these Jordans. This kid in high school. And the kid died by envious other children his age. Because of the shoes he had on. That child is no longer breathing over a pair of validational item shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, those things, it just doesn't, it's not worth it, It's not worth it. That mom worked 2 jobs, man. 2 jobs to get her son something nice. And he was killed for it. So how does that make the mom feel? Had I not done this, my son would still be here. You don't know that, but is the chance high that he would be? Maybe. But that's what I mean. There's so many things that go on that I take into consideration when I look at it. As a grown man and crying, I think about things that I've gone through, things I was able to overcome, and when the universe, when God and His universe just has a blessing, man, that comes out of nowhere, I've definitely cried, for sure. I say all the time, I tell my best friend this, I tell T-Dot this, but I was going to my kid's graduation, and it was just gonna be me. But she found out it was only me that was gonna go to the graduation. And literally 10 minutes went by, and she texted me and was like, I just bought my plane ticket, so we'll be there. I'll be there with you. And I was just like, man, what if, I'm just grateful. And I'm at work, and I remember having a moment on the airfield, just crying tears of joy, that it wasn't even a thought for her to do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't come across many spirits like that. So to see it and be grateful for those type of spirits, I mean, the love that you receive sometimes. You don't believe you have earned it, but you'd be surprised what people see in you. So, yeah, there's been a few times where I've had my fair share of tears as an adult. Music-wise, there's songs that'll play where I'll sometimes feel the emotion of them, but I won't necessarily say cry. But whenever somebody passes, gone too soon, or yesterday, it's so hard to say goodbye. Like those records, Far Away by Marsha Ambrosius is one of those records. My cousin Tiff put me on to that song, and man, I tell you, the people that we've seen ascend in our family, and to think about that with that record, man, you definitely feel it. But I mean, I don't look at myself as like weak for having that moment. I'm not too concerned about that shit. I could care less. I've learned through mental health that it's okay to feel. Now, as far as like crying all the time, you don't want to do that. Especially as a man, presentation does matter. But when it comes to seeing my babies, like prosper in life. And by babies, I mean like when I see my little brother prosper, when I see my daughter, when I see my god babies, when I see, knowing that I've seen them I've held them in my arms when they were babies, my godchildren, and to see them grow up now, being teenagers and almost adults, and some of them are adults and stuff. It's definitely heartwarming. Grateful. That's all I can say, man. Just grateful, and hopefully they're able to make better choices than me and their parents were able to do. That's really all you want. You want them to be better than you. There's a few moments that I've had where I've shed tears, as an adult. But like I said, I don't care how I'm viewed in the sense of that. I know that they were well-earned tears, as far as like having a moment with instant family, having a moment seeing your family members inside a box, and taking on too much from the world, being too much of a nice person, and not having any type of support for it. It is it's challenging. It's challenging trying to do the right thing. But when you have boundaries, and when you learn how to develop a dark side, you got a better fighting chance. So I'm grateful for that. But those are the few times where I've cried as an adult. What was your favorite computer game at school in elementary? Most people would think it's Oregon Trail, but it used to be this math game by Macintosh. And I remember it being like fish, monkeys, or what have you. I wish I could remember the name. I have to Google it. But there were, like, we used to go into the computer room on a Friday. Friday was like computer day. We used to go in there and play games. It's at Green Holly Elementary. And they would have these math games, and the math games were very interactive with, like, I think I said, like, the monkeys and fish and shit. But, and they even sometimes it was like basketball or something on it. But it was these Macintosh, it's just these Macintosh, like, math games that we used to have. This is like 93 through 94, And we would play those games, but I used to look forward to it, man. I tell you, I used to look forward to Fridays when we would go to like the computer room and just sit there for like an hour, just, you're learning math, multiplication, and all that shit. And then there's these little interactive characters of it. And I don't have a specific name, but all I can say is that it was the Macintosh mathematical games. are the small fine prints for a man like you when it comes to love? All right, well, the small fine prints when it comes to love for me is, ideally you would want to love somebody unconditionally, right? Unconditionally also sometimes can seem like you don't have any boundaries. For a long time, I was loving people and I didn't care how they treated me. I'm like, all right, it's fine. I love them, so they'll treat me okay. No. So a small fine print is having healthy boundaries, right? Healthy boundaries when you're engaging with people, and not just people you want to be in a relationship with, but just like friends and stuff. You know, like don't portray yourself as like the joke, the clown, the butt of all things that are funny, because people will treat you like a clown. I literally remember sometimes getting calls from people and they would just want me to make them laugh, and it's like, oh, okay, that's what I am now. I'm that guy. I'm the one. I'm Kevin Hart to you. You know, you call me up. You know, joke. You know, 1-800-JOKES. That's what I am. And I learned to still keep that humorous side, just not show it as much. I wanted to be taken seriously, so I had to take myself seriously. And you do that by establishing healthy boundaries. Like, you don't just laugh shit off and let people just do fucked up shit to you and just, that was funny. You got me with that one. You tried to take my shit. Nope. Literally set a boundary with people and let them know that you're not to be fucked with. And uncomfortable, but definitely powerful. And I think it's healthy and like when it comes to love with that too, because I believe women respect a man with boundaries. And any woman that values a man will respect his boundaries, that is. Like, if she knows she got something that's of value, she will try to get her shit together. As far as like how she talks to you, and, how she engages around you. Small fine prints. Hey, the small fine prints when it comes to love is just understanding that you have to hone in your emotions as a man. It's a double standard, and we don't get the luxury of being emotional and still keeping the same respect from that woman, and that's just what it is. So you find a way to hone that shit in. Do your best not to project. Let's just say that. Do your best not to project. But being able to set a precedent, set a standard when engaging with women. And if indeed you can clearly see that they do not value what you're saying, then you remove yourself. Point blank, period. You remove yourself. And you're not going to sit there and just keep taking on, being the punching bag for somebody. Because they will do it. If they can, they will. Yeah. They will punch you. And they will keep punching you. Just because they believe you can take it. You're a man. You can take it. No, you be a man with respect, though. Don't just sit there and just take anything. I can remember being in relationships. And I just took the sarcasm. I took the jokes. I took the jokes about my intelligence. I took this person projecting their pain upon me. Only for me to say, I love you anyway. Who's going to respect that? When a girl decides that she's just going to be blatantly disrespectful to you, and you just take it because you have this particular person, she is more important to you than what you believe in yourself. So it didn't matter because I loved her. So I thought I couldn't love her if I didn't love myself. enough, you know? And I just kept taking it and taking it and taking it, right? And I just knew that as long as I show that I can take your pain, eventually you're going to come with love. And when I finally came to, I grew rage, I grew resentment, you know? And it just showed me that it doesn't matter how nice you are to a person. Nothing anyone does about you. You know, they were in their own pain. They were projecting. They were self-sabotaging. They were pushing me away. And the only way they knew how to do it was by doing fucked up shit. So they just didn't feel like they deserved that type of love that I was attempting to give. Because let me tell you, man, if a woman shows, you know, that she's loving, she's nurturing, she is feminine, essentially. She operates in her feminine when she's dealing with, you know, a guy that's practicing acting as masculine. I've said it before in the show, there isn't nothing that man won't attempt to do for her. And sense of protection, and sense of hell, even gifts and shit. Like, there's nothing. You know, it's just about protecting. Masculine wants to protect the feminine. And, but when you don't feel valued, fuck that. And those are the small fine prints, man. You would think love would be just like when we were kids, right? When you got a girlfriend in middle school or 6th grade or something. I like you, you like me. Let's hang out. We do this. I know how to do these things. You know how to do these things. Oh no. Now there's much more to be taken into account when it comes to love, at least for me. And that is the whole aspect of respect, right? So the small fine print, love. To love me is to respect me. That's how I see it. Respect me in the sense that you trust me to lead. You actually trust a man to make a decision, you know. And that is, I understand how much of a challenge that is, especially for a woman who has been doing it her entire fucking life. Then to have a moment to encounter a man that has displayed that he can do it. Okay, let's see what happens. And so when you don't do that, when you don't trust enough, it's just pointless for a man to be there. You know what I mean? If you're gonna do it, right? If you as a woman are gonna do it, then I'm not gonna stand in your way. That's how I see it. And that's just dealing with the relationships I've had throughout life, especially with the information that I've gained in the last few years. You know, I'm just like, you can have it. You can have it. And I want you to have it because I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you to lead. And if leading is what you want, then you can do that on your own. And I'm sure that there is some male that will allow you to do it. And he'll be okay. He's gonna get on your nerves and you're gonna get resentful. But he's gonna be okay. He's okay with being a son to a grown woman. I'm not. That's just me. That's just, you know, that's how I live, you know. Because I'm not gonna fight you. You know, like, I already have peace in my life by myself. Why would I continuously have unnecessary conflict with someone when I can have peace by myself? And to me, those are easy choices for me, you know. But it all goes back to respect. And if you don't respect a man enough to lead, if you don't respect a man enough to trust him to make solid decisions, to look after you, then there's no reason for you to engage with him. on that level. You know what I mean? That's just my thought process with that. I've said that for years. And the other little small prints of love is just recognizing that we come from two different backgrounds, whoever that individual would be. You guys come from two different backgrounds as far as what does love mean. So when you're trying to project your love onto another person's love and they don't match, it's perceived differently. That's the small fine prints of love. But for me, it ain't really that difficult for me, man. I don't have special requests or anything. I crave your time. That's it. Time with you is more than enough. Like, to grow, to learn how to love you, time is the greatest teacher, and you're never gonna get more of it. You know what I mean? Like, the time you guys took to watch this show, you're not getting that time back. So hopefully you learned something. Otherwise, you wasted your time. I don't care. I got your attention. But for real, time is great. To me, is the greatest teacher. Eventually, time heals wounds once a person learns how to heal. Now, if they keep looking at things from that same perspective, remember, you're going to keep pulling back the Band-Aid. You're going to feel that pain the first time. But small fine prints of love, like for me is, that whole thing of trust, right? Because a man wants to feel like a man just as much as a woman wants to feel like a woman. I'm not with the identity crisis shit. I'm not gonna sit and thinking, like, getting back to the whole concept of like middle school relationships. You didn't know to lead or anything like that, but it's important. That's a small fine print in a relationship, especially when engaging with a woman. I don't believe a woman wants to be with a man that doesn't know how to do anything, that doesn't know how to lead, that doesn't know how to manage emotions and things like that, And a man doesn't want to be with a woman that wants to be, operating pretty much in her masculine, because it brings forth so many unnecessary conflicts. It's like having, an issue with your supervisor at work, and y'all both got that, ram type mentality, and you just keep bumping into each other. Somebody's got to listen to someone. And based on title, you're gonna have to listen to your supervisor, and you gotta be okay with it. And that's how I see a man's place as far as like when engaging in a relationship, dating, whatever, is to lead. And there's a lot that comes with that. There's more. That's small fine print. There's research that must be done when engaging with a person. You must learn how to love the person that you are talking to, and that comes with a lot of effort. That a lot of times it's not even. You don't want that person to have to ask for it. If that makes sense, it just works a lot smoother. It draws attraction better when you come in knowing these things. Don't get me wrong. You can get taught things, when you engage with somebody, if they want to listen to you. But if they show, if you communicate with them and they don't value what you have to say, then what's the point of talking? That's my theory. I spent a lot of years trying to, say how I felt about things, and they were dismissed, overlooked, gaslit, whatever mental health term you want to use. So when I recognize that you don't value what I have to say, I'm not going to talk. Period. There's nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? Actions speak louder than words, and you're just showing me that you don't value what I say. So by all means, do what you do. No tantrums, no nothing. Just okay. I'm not engaging. That's all. I'm just not gonna engage. But the respect thing, that's that small fine print, man. As far as like when it comes to love, it's really just about respect and trust, and what you do with that trust too. That trust and that respect. allowing the feminine to feel protected. So that means you don't get to be the funny guy all the time. I don't know many women that feel safe with clowns. You know what I'm saying? So you must carry yourself in a stoic manner. You must carry yourself in the sense that she trusts you. You still have a sense of humor. You're just not belting out fucking joke after joke after joke. But be able to carry on the conversation and present yourself as somebody that can be trusted, you know? To me, those are little things, those small fine prints when it comes to love, as a man, you know, like myself. And just continuously try to learn from previous encounters, previous things that weren't so effective in previous relationships. And learn to be just better for it, you know? Everybody you meet is teaching you something. And not everybody's meant to be in your life forever. And but they do make you better. Everyone you meet has made you who you are to this day. They played a part in, you know, bringing you to present day you. So be grateful for them. Be grateful for the past. Be grateful for the moment shared. Be grateful for the experience, right? But know when you've outgrown where you are. Know when it's time to ascend. Know when it's time to head upstairs to the next room, the next phase in life. Another thing in fine print, you know. Don't be afraid to evolve. I'll say that. Don't be afraid to evolve with love, you know. And finding out that this is for you. And if it's not for you, that's okay too. And there's 1 billion people in the world. You know, so I believe you'll be okay. And they'll be okay. Sure, painful, but not impossible. You know, plenty of people we thought we were going to be with forever, and we're not. So you just learn how to move on. Sometimes it takes time. It takes years, takes months, whatever it is for you. Depends on that person and I believe it depends on that person and what they've gone through in life. But yeah, some small fine prints. Yeah, I'm gonna end it on that one. Yeah, ending on that. So thank you guys again for watching this episode. Be sure to share, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff that social media people tell you to do to help out with the algorithm, of course. But yeah, thank you. This is Romy Mac, and that's Rome, and I'm out. Good night, kids.